Uh, so with season 4 wrapping up mostly, um, I just realized something that I don't think a lot of people talk about. But Fortnite now has this tendency to just drop a season halfway through. Um, they did it last year with Myths and Mortals and Absolute Doom. They did it not once but twice this year, mostly, give or take, for K-pop Demon Hunters. Not specifically K-pop Demon Hunters, but for that update, they like basically dropped everything that they had like going. And again for Fortnite Mirrors, where they just kind of like drop everything again. Um, but I think it's it's an underlying problem with seasons. Fortnite doesn't commit like they used to, if we're being completely honest. What does that mean? Um, well, they just kind of have this tendency to, drop a season, right? And then, like, after the secret skin comes out, they will abandon mostly a season for collabs, other modes, or just other things in general. Uh, I don't want to say this is a big, like, Chapter 5, Chapter 6 thing, but it definitely feels that way. Especially with Chapter 5 Season 2 and Chapter 5 Season 4, and more prominently this season. And, I think it's not a big issue. It's something that can be easily fixed and rerouted. I think firstly they gotta have more or less. They gotta have more confidence in a season, right? If you don't have confidence in a season, what are you doing, man? Right? Um, especially this season, like you can tell confidence almost from the beginning dropped right after like that first like set of nerfs. Like everybody was just like, this season's gone, right? Like this season is just done for at this point. Then I think the nerfs this season were definitely really poor in keeping the community together, firstly, but invested, right? If you nerf all your new stuff like they did, you're gonna see a lot less confidence in the season, right? I don't have like a specific stat line that I can pull up or nothing, but after the nerfs, it really did feel like the game just kind of dropped off, like bad. They brought back the player count with the K-pop Demon Hunter collab, and that update, which almost completely reworked the fundamentals of the season. They got rid of the bugs, they got rid of most of everything. But in my opinion, I think it becomes really, really obvious that Epic Games just doesn't have the commitment anymore towards season themes that are more out there. I mentioned earlier Myths and Mortals, which I was just talking to my friend, and I was looking at his YouTube channel, like, I don't know, I had no reason to do any of this, but I had pulled up, or I had noticed that he made a video way back when, during Myths and Mortals, that said it was great, but now it is seen as one of the more, bad seasons. Obviously, opinions change with time, but I think a lot of that, ill will towards that season is because of Avatar, Obviously, yeah, it was a little lackluster, but I'd say, even then, it was mostly fun for what it was up until Avatar. I feel like, you know, Epic kind of dropping a season, and more so the season's theme, like completely, for a collab or just something else. Holiday events like Absolute Doom, where we went from Marvel to just another generic Halloween. I'm not gonna say that it wasn't a great Fortnite race. I think it was definitely a step up last year, and I think this year's is, also a really big step up. But you also can't sacrifice the integrity of your own seasons for a holiday, regardless of Halloween or Winterfest or whatever. So honestly, I plan on getting a season review or retrospective out at some point, but I think this is just kind of something that clicked in my head randomly. If it doesn't make sense, I don't really care, honestly. I do this for fun more than anything. So, shout out to my buddy Trickster, who, kind of helped me talk through this. And yeah, that's about it. I love you all consensually, as always. Expect a retrospective, I guess. Don't plan on it, though. Thank you.